Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Amra and this is Amra's Beauty Blog. If you're a subscriber, then a welcome return. If you like this video, then please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for weekly uploads. So, I'm very excited. I was filming my Dior video this morning and some deliveries arrived, and this one really excited me. It's from Chanel and it's their new Beige Healthy Glow Sunkissed powder, and I decided to pick these up on a whim on, I think it was Saturday night, because I had gone to H Beauty and they didn't have it in stock yet, but then I saw that it had gone into stock in Harrods and I actually had some money towards it, and it was also extra 10% off, so I thought no brainer. There's 5 shades in total and I haven't even gone into store to swatch any of these. I have used other YouTube videos to help me decide which ones would suit me. There's a light shade, then there's 2 medium shades, and then there's 2 deep shades. Although I love the look of the deep shades, I think they may be too deep for my skin tone. I have decided to pick the medium ones, so I've gone with medium coral and I've gone with medium rose gold. These are huge. I don't know if you sort of know the size of a normal Chanel blush. These are in fact a little bit of everything. There is a highlighter shade at the top, a bronzer in the middle, and a blush at the bottom. So you can see that this has been designed to kind of do everything. You get a lot of product in here. There's 15 grams worth of product. These remind me of Mer, who launched something quite similar where there was 3 shades in one compact. You sometimes get a similar design in Guerlain, who do that kind of thing where they take all different shades and then they put them into one. And the thing with that is that they combine it into like a motif, so it could be a bee or something, but all the colours are all put together, whereas this one has been separated into sections, which hopefully should make it a lot easier. I have a little surprise for you. I actually have the new Fenty Soft Glow foundation, and I'll explain what happened. I ordered the 310 online and it seemed a little bit too dark for me. I have 300 because I went to Sephora and they let me sample 300 and 310. So I thought as a little kind of tester and taster, I'd have the 300 shade on and then I'd ask you as my wonderful subscribers whether you think this is the right colour match for me, because I haven't gone back into Sephora yet to exchange the shade because I needed to make sure whether it was my correct shade first and whether I should be exchanging it for the right shade, if that makes sense. I have that on. I also have some eyeshadow from my recent Dior video. Looking on camera, I definitely feel like Fenty foundations are a little bit more yellowy in their undertone. Even though I'm a neutral undertone, I tried the 290, I tried the 300, and I tried the 310. I feel as though no matter what direction I go in, it's going to have a kind of yellowy undertone to it. This is 300, so I'm going to keep this on throughout the video and I'll love to hear your thoughts and your comments on whether you think it suits me or not. I might even, on the second part of the video where I remove my foundation, I might try the 310 so that you can just see it in this same video. So I'll see how I get on. But the 2 shades that I picked up, again, medium coral and medium rose gold. There are 5 shades, like I said, in total. And I just thought, based on my medium skin tone, I thought this would be better for me. I have had a sneak peek of these and they're gorgeous. There is also another brand which has stopped and they are rebranding, I believe, which is Marc Jacobs. And Marc Jacobs used to do huge pans like this for their bronzers, but they would also do ones that were like limited edition. I think there was one where they had a bronzer and a blush as well. I don't know if I picked that one up, but I know that Mer had one, but it was a lot smaller. I'm going to see if I can dig that out towards the end of the video just to show you size comparisons and everything with this, but I'm sure that you just want me to start and show you how these look. Let's start off with the medium rose gold. I've been feeling rose gold a lot recently, just love rose gold. So let's try this. So it comes in this huge compact and it has all the ingredients at the back. It's made in Italy, and we know when products are made in Italy that the quality is exceptional, so I have no sort of qualms about the quality. There's an 18-month shelf life and it just says harmony of 3 healthy glow powders, bronzer, blush and highlighter for face and décolleté. So what I'm going to do, I've got a top on and I'll try and put it on here too so you can see how that looks. Let's take a look. So it comes in a huge pan. So this is the rose gold one, but you can see that it's absolutely huge. Like my face let's give a kind of comparison. This is my face and that's how big the pan is. I'm already loving the choice of shades here. I'm intrigued to see how this highlighter will look on me, especially because I've got this kind of now slightly yellowy undertone, warmish type of foundation, and I think this will go really well. Then you've got the bronzer in the middle and then you've got the blush at the bottom. I will do swatches for you so you will see this, but I'm also going to take some pictures now in daylight and I'll attach it to this video right now as well. Just so you know, there is that Le Beige scent, so just be aware that there is a scent to it. I don't know if it dissipates once I use it, but I'll let you know. So those are the three colours. You've got the highlighter on the top, you've got the bronzer, and then you've got the blush at the bottom. Let's swatch the highlighter shade first. I'm just going to go in with my finger and just getting the colour off that. So we're going to do the highlighter shade first. So it's quite fair. You can see that it's there, but the highlighter is a lot lighter than it is in the pan, I think. And then we're going to go into the next shade, which is the bronzer shade. The bronzer shade is a lot more distinct. It's warm, which is what I wanted to see. Let's see if I can get some more colour from the highlighter. It might just be I didn't swatch it hard enough, so there we go. It's a bit more stronger. And then finally we're going to go into the blush shade at the bottom. This is the blush shade. So really gorgeous complementary colours to my skin tone. Loving that. An FYI, I went to the Chanel counter when I was at H Beauty and they said that this wasn't going to be launched in store until the 3rd of May or the beginning of May, like the first few days of May. I'm going to get this out for you ASAP so that you can have an idea of how it will look against your complexion, and then you can let me know which ones you picked up. I just wanted to show you how big this mirror is. It's absolutely huge, so I've got no need for another mirror, and I'll show you how this looks now. There are so many brushes you can use to pick this up with, but what I thought I'd do is use my Sonia G brush, the one I like to use for highlight. I'm tempted to go in with bronzer first and then putting the highlight in at the end, because that's what I generally like to do. I think I'll do bronzer, blush, and then highlight. I thought it might be good to try using my Ini Cheeky Pro brush from Sonia G because it has a pinch at the end that kind of works quite well with getting into that product. I'm going to go into that shade and take it like that and then just put it onto my skin as a bronzer. In the pan, it does look quite dark and you can see it, but it's definitely buildable. It feels really nice on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy at all. You can see that I was able to build that. So I've just gone in a little bit closer and I'm going to apply a little bit more. Fits quite nicely into that middle section of that shade. And I'm just going in here. That's better. And you can see the bronzer working its magic there. And then I'm just taking it again and then just taking it on the jawline. And I'm going to add it to my forehead on this side. So like a 3 shape, but you can see how that looks. It's quite warm actually. It's also leaning a little bit reddish on me, which I'm a bit surprised, but reddish undertone bronzer actually looks quite nice on my skin. So I'm going to take the same shade. I'm going to go in like so. And just do the same thing with the bronzer, taking it down to my jawline and then building it just to how much I like it. Now, I like it on my nose because when the sun hits you, it hits you sort of on the top of your nose usually. Sorry about my funny face. I'm just trying to get it into the places where I think the sun would naturally hit so you can see how it looks. The scent does kind of hit you when you first put it on, but then it dissipates as you use the product. But I don't mind this scent. I quite like this scent. As you can see, I've got the bronzer on now, and you can stop there. You don't necessarily need to do the whole shebang, but because you want to see how this performs. We're going to do everything. It's gorgeous. It's given me a lovely glow. I feel like I've hit the sun, and it's a lovely sort of compact on my skin tone. I really, really like it. It's very, very pretty. We're now going to move on to the blush. So I thought I'd try a different brush with this because why not? And also it goes sort of pinched at the bottom as well. And it's one of Wayne Goss's brushes that I absolutely adore and love to use for blush. So I'm going to go into the blush shade below. It fits very, very nicely. And then I'm just going to tap it on the bits where I'd like the sort of colour to hit. I learned this technique when I was at my Dior masterclass. If you bounce it, it actually looks really nice. So I'm just trying to bounce the colour as opposed to swiping the colour. It just gives you bursts of colour where you want it. Already, I am loving this. This is so pretty. And the foundation, I'm loving too. We'll see how we get on with the other shade, but I like the look of it so far. So I just tend to put a little bit near my nose, take the blush, and I'm just bouncing it where I want the colour to hit me. But so far, so good. I am loving this. It's so, so pretty. Only thing I'd say about Wayne Goss brushes, and they're not all of them, but in particular this one, it seems to shed quite easily. So far, so good. I am loving this palette. And we're going to go into the highlighter shade now. So I have a trusted Sonia G brush I like to use for highlight, and I'm going to use it for this. So I'm going to go in with my Sonia G brush, pick up the colour at the top, and I'm literally going to put it where I would put some highlight. So I'm just putting it on my skin here. But can you see it's coming through? So I'm just taking the colour again. It's very subtle, which I like actually, because I don't like too bold, especially like if I'm out and about and I haven't got a lot of control of how much is going to go on my skin. I just want a quick one and done. But can you see the highlight there? Just wanted to kind of show you it in the light. It's working so beautifully with the bronzer underneath and the blush. So we're doing the same thing on this side. Yeah, I think you can see it a little bit better here on my skin. It's gorgeous. Wow, this might be my favourite so far, but I haven't tried the other palette yet. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So I look like I've just come back from holiday. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to take a little bit of that leftover highlight and I'm just going to put it on my Cupid's bow, a little bit on the tip of my nose, a little bit on the brow bone. I mean, to be honest, it's such a gorgeous shade, but I'll kind of go in a little bit closer. Wow. I'm so impressed. I think Chanel are so good at the summer collections. I love the summer collections from Chanel. I think that they know how to get the bronzing effect to look so beautiful and natural, and yet gives you such a beautiful glow. Wow. So I'm just going to add a little bit of lip and then I'll give you my thoughts on this palette, and then we're going to start again and then move on to the other palette. This is what it looks like. So this is the palette and it's the medium rose gold palette, and I think this might be one of my favourites so far. It's stunning. Goes really beautifully with the Fenty foundation actually. So well done, Rihanna. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of lip and then I'll give you my thoughts on this palette. So what I thought might look nice is I've got a little bit of Dior lip, but I thought I'd add the Summer Friday lip. This is their lip butter balm and it's got a bit of a kind of orangey tint to it, and I thought that would look really nice against this sort of warm look. So I'm going in with this. That gives it that little bit more like a holiday feel. And I always associate like orange with holidays. So I really like the way this gloss looks. It's a balm, but it has like a orangey tint to it, this one. So this is the poppy one and it's Summer Fridays, and yeah, it just looks gorgeous. So I have just added a little bit of lip and wanted to give you my thoughts on this particular palette. First of all, the size is so generous humongous. I really like the size, and I really like the fact that it didn't take me long to get this look at all. You probably saw how quick it was. Highly recommend this one if you've got like a medium skin tone. If you were fair, it would probably work as well, but you just have to work with it so that it worked with your skin tone. So don't go in too heavy. Whereas I think if you're someone of my complexion or darker, you could kind of go with a bit more of a heavy hand. It would still look gorgeous. So this is the first one. I will be back with the second palette and show you that next. What do you think, guys? So pretty. So I was just going to add some of this to my décolleté as well, and literally just put it where that bone sort of meets here and here. But yeah, just to show you how you can use this on your body as well. So I've got it on my décolleté as well. And you can take it down here if you want to. So I am back. I have taken off my foundation and I've added 310. 310 is the Fenty Soft Filt'r. This is the new foundation. I am usually 310, and that's why I was confused what shade I was, because when I was in store it looked a little bit darker. Now when I see it on camera it actually looks like a really good match, but then I had 300 earlier on, so I'd love to get your thoughts on what you think is the better match for me before I go back and change it. Anyhow, let's go into the next shade of colours that I picked up from this collection. This is the Healthy Glow Sunkissed powder in medium coral, and I love me a coral during the summertime. It's just this perfect shade for summer and perfect for when you've got a gorgeous tan. This one, again, 15 grams of product, so you can see how big the pan is, absolutely huge. And then you can see the colour story for this one, which is medium coral, and you can see why I picked them up, because they're a little bit different from each other. This one's got a sort of more lighter highlight, and I love the coral in this one. The other one doesn't have the coral, it's more pinkier in tone. So it's nice that I've got a contrast of the two. This is what it looks like. As I mentioned, you have the highlighter at the top, you have the bronzer in the middle, and then you have the coral at the bottom. So I'll do an arm swatch of these for you now. Okay, so let's do an arm swatch of these shades. We're going to start off with the top one, which is the highlighter shade. This one is more of a goldy colour. Definitely shows more as a gold on my arm. Then we have the bronzer in the centre. Warm again in tone. And then finally we have the blush, which is the coral blush at the bottom. Wow. Pretty. So let's try this on together now. I'm going to go into that middle colour, which is that bronzer shade. Nice. Funnily enough, it's picked up a little bit of the colour below, but I'm trying my best to just get the bronzer to show through. It's definitely warm, the bronzer. I think it's more reddish, but that's because of that coral shade, I think. Let's go into the other side with that brown again. Again, I'm kind of doing that upside down 3. Okay, so that's completely using the bronzer. So that is the bronzer on its own. I think this one is a little bit more lighter than the previous palette, but I still get a gorgeous glow to my cheeks, and the bronzer is looking really beautiful and natural. So let's try the blush. So we're going to go down to the blush. This is the coral one, and I'm just going to pat it in like I did with the other one Oh, wow. It's definitely corally, which I really like. And then I'm just going to use my brush to just diffuse it a little bit. It's definitely more coral, this one. You can see that, and just diffusing it a tad, taking it up to the temple a little bit. It's still absolutely gorgeous. Wow, so pretty. So this is the coral shade of the blush. Just taking it to the areas where I think the sun will hit me, which is usually a little bit on the nose. So taking that colour onto the nose and just taking this here and diffusing it. Wow, I like this one as well. Ah, they're both really pretty. Okay, so let's finally move into this. So I'm just going to get in a little bit closer to show you. Okay, so we've done the blush, we've done the bronzer. So I've layered them on top of each other. Now we're going to go into the highlighter shade. This is going to hopefully show up a little bit more because it's more of a gold colour, where the other one was a little bit more rose gold, and it was kind of blending into the blush and the bronzer. You could see it, but this one hopefully is going to be a bit more stronger. It's a little bit more golder. And same on this side here. You can probably see that gold a little bit more there. And then the same with the gold on this side. But wow. You know when you get a palette that kind of does everything? I feel like this palette delivers compared to like some of these other ones where I've bought and I've been a bit disappointed. Whereas I think Chanel, they are constant in their game, but they totally like know what they're doing. And so when you put the colour onto your skin, it just melts naturally. The colours just blend beautifully into the skin. Hourglass do the kind of ambient lighting so well that this is kind of like got an Hourglass feel but has the Chanel signature sort of glow, and it just makes everything look so beautiful on the skin. I really love this. This is the highlighter on top of the bronzer and the blush, but it's so pretty. So I'm just going to add some lip now. I'm going to stick with that Summer Fridays lip and I'll give you my thoughts on this. So I've gone away, I've added the Summer Friday lip like I used in the previous one. Okay, so I just wanted to show you these side by side so you could see how they look. You can see this one has the gold highlight at the top. The middle section is similar-ish to the one on the left, but I think this one's a little bit more lighter. Then you've got the coral blush. Then this side, you've got that rose gold kind of highlight at the top. Then at the bottom, you've got that pinky blush. So you can see they are quite different and really lovely. I thought this might be a little bit more helpful. Actually, I was wrong. The coral has the more darker bronzer of the two palettes. So you've got this rose gold type shade, then this kind of more lighter bronzer, then this pinky blush, then below you've got the gold highlight, you've got that more warmer bronzer, and then you've got that coral. So actually this palette deceptively looks lighter because of that highlight shade. It's actually darker here when it comes to the bronzer and the blush. I hope that makes sense. That's how they compare side by side. And what can I say? I love it. I love it. I love the fact that they are both different, what I've picked up. I'm intrigued to see the deep ones because I want to see how they look against my skin tone. I'm a little bit fearful in the fact that they look quite pigmented and that I might have to have a lighter hand. These aren't limited edition from what I can see, so don't rush out. I'm only showing you these two because I wanted to pick these two particular colours up, but there are 5 in total. You might end up picking all 5 in the future, but I don't have any inkling that these are limited edition. Let me know if you've heard differently, but from what I've seen, it's not on the packaging. Normally Chanel are very good at letting you know when something's limited, it will say. When I look at the packaging, there is nothing to indicate that this is limited edition, just so you know that you're not rushing out to buy it. What I would say is that I bought these blindly, and the reason I committed to buying them was because I'd seen other videos already with other people with similar skin tones. That's how I knew this would work for me. But I think because they are quite costly, but with Chanel, you know, you get what you pay for. It's very, very good quality. I will go into store if you can when this launches, which is coming up in the next week or so. Go and get colour matched and actually pick the one that you're most drawn to initially. Then, you know, by all means pick up other ones from the collection, other colours. I'm interested in the deeper shades myself because I really, really like what I've seen so far with these two. I'm not in a hurry to buy them all because I know that they're going to be there permanently. So yeah, I love this. I love the coral. It's a very, very summer inspired shade. It's making me feel like I need some sun. We're getting some sun. You can see the light is shining in and out of the room, but it's like fighting. I think next week we're going to get a bit of a heat wave. So I will hopefully pick up some sun. I absolutely love this. I love the formula. So I did some digging and I couldn't find the La Mer one that I was going to show you, but what I can do is show you some size comparisons. So do you remember when they did the Beige oversized healthy glow Sunkissed powder, which I did the review on? This is the Sunkissed one in medium. This is 15 grams, so they are identical in size. So if you have this palette, then you'll know how big that one is. If you have like one of their normal blushes, this one is 9 grams. That's how the 9-gram blush compares to the oversized or full size of this new one, which is the Healthy Glow Sunkissed powder. You can see that this is a lot more, so you do get sort of value for money. And like I said, I managed to pick this up in the sale when Harrods just launched it, which was a surprise to me that they'd launched it. So I would wait if you can and get it when there is a sale, whatever country you're living in. Wait and see, because you know, sometimes Chanel do 15%, 20%. In the States I think they even do up to 25. I think it depends like where you are really, and it's worth getting it then. I am in love with this. I think that I'm definitely going to explore the 2 deeper shades when they launch in store. I want to try them on first before I buy them. And I hope you enjoyed this, and let me know your thoughts on the 2 foundations. Like I said, I've got 310 of the new Fenty Beauty foundation on, and I love the way it looks already, but I also had 300 earlier on, so I would love to know your thoughts on which one look better. Please don't forget to leave your comments. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.